How are you? I hope you all are fine and having good time with your family. Today we are going to start our new topic. Okay, the name of the topic is relative clause. This is not new as I can say because clauses we have already done, phrases we have already done. So let me give you brief information about clause. So what is clause? Clause is a group of words containing subject and a verb. Okay? Clause is a group of verb containing subject and a verb to form sentences or a part of a sentence. ठीक है, सेंटेंस बनाने के लिए हमें सब्जेक्ट और वर्ब चाहिए होता है, या तो फिर किसी सेंटेंस का पार्ट बनने के लिए जब हम यूज करते हैं कोई सेंटेंस जिसमें सब्जेक्ट एंड वर्ब दिया हो, दैट मीन्स क्लॉज. ठीक है, सो व्हाट इज क्लॉज? It is a group of words containing subject and verb to form a sentence or a part of a sentence. ठीक है, example, a girl clapped loudly. What is the girl doing? The girl is clapping loudly. A girl clapped loudly. So this is my subject and this is my verb. ठीक है, in the sentence when the subject and the verb given, that means the sentence is known to be as a clause. ठीक है, understood? So this is the thing. The next example, a thief ran away. ठीक है, this is my subject and this is my verb. ठीक है, and in clauses I have explained you about the dependent clause and independent clause. Dependent clause means the sentence is dependent on, the sentence can stand alone, जो अकेले खड़े रह सकता है, that means dependent. And what is independent? Independent means जो सेंटेंस को मीनिंगफुल बनाने के लिए किसी और सेंटेंस की जरूरत पड़ती है. ठीक है, when the sentence can't be stand alone, that sentence is known to be as a independent clause. ठीक है, so as I have given you the brief information about clause, so now let's move on to the relative clause. Relative clause is also known as a adjective clause. ठीक है, now there is a question in your mind, sir, what is relative clause? You have explained about clauses. ठीक है, independent clause, independent clause, but sir, what is relative clause? So let me explain you relative clause. Relative clauses are subordinate clauses and cannot stand alone. It always starts with relative pronoun like which, who, whom, where, that. ठीक है, why, what. These are known as relative pronouns. ठीक है, this all are known as relative pronouns like which, who, whom, where, that, why, what, the WH words, ठीक है, instead of that बाकी सारे कौन से वर्ड है हमारे पास, WH words, so they all are known as relative pronouns. So I am making the sentence from this. How relative pronouns look like, ठीक है, the dentist, the man who treated me is my uncle, ठीक है, the man who treated me is my uncle. So this is my relative clause, ठीक है, the man who treated me is my uncle. So this is known to be as relative clause. It always starts from WH and relative मतलब इसमें भी अब दो टाइप दिए गए हैं उसमें, defining and non-defining. So let's do the sentences and the formation of defining and non-defining, students. So now let's do the defining relative clause. So what is defining relative clause? Defining relative clause gives essential information, ठीक है, about the person, to give essential information about the person and to identify the person or a thing, ठीक है, उसमें से उस बंदे का या कोई चीज का किसी का भी आइडेंटिफाई करना हो, उसके एसेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन की वो क्या है, जैसे कि आई एम अ टीचर. So that means this is defining relative clause that defines me, ठीक है, it defines about me, it identifies me that I am a teacher. So let's do the defining clause. Defining relative clause. It always gives essential information and to define or identify essential information to define or identify the person or a thing which we are talking about, ठीक है, जिस थिंग और जिस बंदे के बारे में हम बात कर रहे हैं उसकी हमें ओनली एसेंशियल इंफॉर्मेशन, नो एक्स्ट्रा इंफॉर्मेशन अबाउट दैट पर्सन और अ थिंग, ओनली जो जरूरी इंफॉर्मेशन है बस वही प्रोवाइड करते हैं डिफाइनिंग क्लॉज में, ठीक है. एंड लेट मी राइट एग्जांपल ऑफ इट. द पर्सन whom I met in train is a writer. बस इतनी इंफॉर्मेशन देके खत्म. जिस बंदे से मैं ट्रेन में मिला था वो क्या है, राइटर है. That's it. So this is my relative clause, defining relative clause. Next, the neighbor who lives beside me is moved from Delhi. The neighbor who lives beside me is moved from Delhi. So this is my defining relative clause. No additional information about this person or this neighbor. बस जो मेरे बाजू में रहते हैं वो दिल्ली से आए हैं, ठीक है. And the person whom I met in the train is a writer. जिस बंदे से मैं मिला था ट्रेन में वो क्या था, राइटर था. No extra information, no additional information, nothing. And the most important thing that no commas in defining relative clause. This is the trick I am telling you students, that in defining relative clause there will be no commas at all in the sentence. कोई भी पूरे सेंटेंस में कहीं पर भी कॉमा होगा नहीं. The sentence will be in a proper way. There will be no stop in between at all. ठीक है? So this is the sentences of defining clause. So let's move to the non-defining clause. Okay dear students, now non-defining relative clause. So let me inform you about non-defining relative clause. It gives extra information. In defining relative clause, what I told you, it gives essential information about the thing or a person. ठीक है? But in non-defining, extra informations are given. So non-defining relative clause. ठीक है? It gives extra information about a particular thing or a person. ठीक है? कौन से इंफॉर्मेशन देते हैं? एक्स्ट्रा इंफॉर्मेशन. Like I have given you the example, the person whom I met in the train he said this city is full of museum. ठीक है? This city is full of museums. The person whom I met in the train, he said this city is full of museums. ठीक है? एक्स्ट्रा इंफॉर्मेशन हम आपको पता चल गया होगा क्या दिया है उसने, that he said this city is full of museum. And what is our clause in this? So this is our clause. See students, this is our clause because I told you it always begin with WH, like the words which I told you, relative pronouns, that, whom, which, where, why, who, it always starts from those words. ठीक है? So whom I met in the train is my non-defining relative clause because in sentence it gives additional information about the person or a thing. ठीक है? Next example, my neighbor who has just arrived from Mumbai is a cricketer. ठीक है? जो नेबर मेरा जो है वो मुंबई से जो आया है, he is a cricketer. So what extra informations they have given? He is a cricketer. ठीक है? So see, there is a commas, and let me tell you one more thing about non-defining clause, that there will be a commas in non-defining clause. आपको अगर ट्रिक मैंने जैसे बताया आइडेंटिफाई करना है that this is defining or non-defining, the first thing you can see the commas. As I told you, in defining clause there will be no commas in any of the sentence, but in non-defining clause there will be a commas in each and every sentence. It will start from here and it will finish till the sentence. ठीक है? Understood this thing? So this is the important thing that you need to see. So this is our relative clause. Okay? And the next thing that I want to inform you that clauses always be, it's not like that. It may be in front, it may be in middle, and it may be in last. So it's very easy for you to identify the clauses. I have explained you the very easy tricks how to identify the clauses, relative clauses, defining and non-defining. Okay students, I hope you all have understood this topic very well. Bye bye, take care, stay at home, stay safe.